Hello, my name is Abdulrazak Muhammad Farah, one of the students at SIMAD University. One of the students, at Open University, facilitated by SIMAD University learning Masters of Project Management. I'm going to present here a project management case study. My executive summary is here. This is a coursework assignment required by Center for Postgraduate Studies, SIMAD University, especially a case study on project management. The purpose of this assignment is to enable the students to enhance their knowledge on the project management knowledge areas. The project program is designated to rehabilitate canals in several villages in southern Somali town of Afgoye. The organization conducting the project is Al Amin Multipurpose Farmers Corporation. We're going to construct and rehabilitate 6 canals in 6 riverine villages with 36,750 meters square of local farms can make use of canals. 587 laborers will work on the canal rehabilitation activities. Returnees, IDBs, local farmers, and many of residents will be workers of the project. Farmers who have no access to alternative livelihood to supplement their low income from agriculture. The workers will be divided in groups of 22 people under one foreman and require 25 groups of 22 persons and 25 foremen who will work for an average of 12 months or 1 year. In this case study, I'll take up and speak about 6 of 10 knowledge areas that every project manager should consider while running different kind of projects. The following will be the areas I'm going to take during my assignment. My case study will focus on the following areas, which is scope management, cost management, quality management, communication management, risk management, and of course procurement management. When it comes really the scope management, the initial time or the first or the start of your program or the project, you have to think about if you are just a service provider or product producer or any other organization. It could be governmental or non-governmental. You have to put in a place the first time a product or project scope. Then you have to think about the 6 areas or 6 points of the project scope will be the 6 points in the middle of this picture. For example, the product and project scope, collect requirements. When you think about the project scope, you have to just collect the requirement, make an assessment, and develop the documents that you're going to use during your project scope in order to express or to explain the extent or the duration of your project from the start to the end or the closure of the project. Then you have to define what you're going to do in a step-by-step way, and then create work plan. You have to create your own work plan and then control the scope. Then when you do these all things, you have to think about your inputs, what you're going to put in your documents, how you're going to fulfill your scope of the project, and then you have to then develop a tool or techniques that you're going to use during your scope of the project. Then you have to think about or control the outputs of the project. The next thing is the cost management. The cost management will just be divided into these categories, and you have to think about the following points when you're going to conduct a cost management in your project wise. Then first thing is the cost management in projects incorporate the whole of the activities aimed to plan, estimate, and monitor the spending across the project life cycle, starting from its strategic outlining and ending with assessment of the outcomes. The next point is that you calculate how much money is needed to perform tasks and duties involved in the project. The third point is to develop a project budget and allocate funds as per the result of cost estimation. The fourth will be to track down how much is spent on project-related activities and encourage compliance with the created budget. The other thing to think about is gathering statistical data regarding actual project expenses to inform future decision making. The last one is, of course, develop the project cost management plan, then go ahead until your project closure is at hand. The other thing, the main important thing of the knowledge area that we have to think about is the quality management. You have to think about the service you're going to do, or the quality of the product you're going to produce, or the service you're going to conduct. Then the process cost management is a series of activities for estimating, allocating, and controlling costs within the project. It allows determining and approving the budget for the project and controlling spendings. There are several steps, including there are several steps required for the conceptualization and implementation of quality management system in every project, which include define and map your process, then define your quality policy, have a good document that you're going to assess, and define how your service will have the quality required by the customers or clients or the stakeholders. The other thing is you have to think about you have to define your quality objectives, or you develop metrics to track and monitor critical success factor data, define defects of every process, develop documents and records of your quality, define quality process. When we come to risk management, a risk management is a process in projects as a rational chain of practices taken by decision agents in order to keep the implementation of the project under certain conditions. The decision agent needs to identify, analyze, and evaluate the risks in all projects life cycle and use their organizational structure and administrative practices in order to act on the risk in favor of the project. As you can see below diagram, you have to start make a risk management part of project, then identify the risk in project, communicate about the risk, then consider the threats and opportunities, then go back, clarify ownership, who is just assigned or in charge of that risk, then prioritizing the risk is making a chronological order. The first risk to think about, the second, the third, how they are more easier than the other one, of course. Then you go back to analyze risks, then plan and implement risk response. Then you have to make a project risk register, then track risks and associated tasks. The other more important thing of the knowledge area is the procurement. Project procurement management includes the process necessary to purchase or acquire products, services, or results needed from outside the project team. The organization can be either the buyer or the seller of the product, service, or result of the project. Project procurement management includes the contract management and change control process required to develop and administer contracts or purchase order issued by authorized project team members. Project procurement management also includes controlling and controlling any contract issued by an outside organization, the buyer, that is acquiring deliverables from the project from the performing organization, the seller, and administering contractual obligations placed on the project team by the contract. The following steps should be considered during the procurement management. Identify the requirement of goods and services for all business units. Identify and evaluate list of suppliers. Negotiate the contract with the selected suppliers. Raise and purchase requisition and release the purchase order. Complete the payment process upon receiving invoices. Receive an audit delivery of requested goods and services. Maintain the proper records of invoices. Communication management is all about communicating the documents of the project. Project communication management includes the process that are required to ensure timely and appropriate planning, collection, creation, distribution, storage, retrieving, management, control, monitoring, and the ultimate disposition of the project information. The following steps will be considered while just conducting a project communication: planning communication management, manage communications, control communications, collecting data and retrieving it, and finally distributing the project organization's information to our concerned parties. Then we have to think the project hurdles. Usually project management meets noticeable challenges and difficulties including natural and man-made disasters, security, political, cultural, and environmental complications where worries of the future can put the project into hazard or risk. Therefore, any manager needs to deal with extremely complex political, cultural, social, economic factors that can directly or indirectly affect conduction of services and goods. Some projects operate in high-risk situations. The shortage of adequate equipment, shortage of skillful staff, inadequate resources, and changing environment can always let the project managers to stay in full stress and can achieve the project outcomes. Hence, the managers of this project of canalization were really in jostle to find solutions for the above mentioned hurdles or challenges. That's the end of my project management case study in my Sim 6 level. Thank you.